So, untold truths about sawmilling as a beginner, especially when you don't have all the fancy equipment and buildings that a lot of these guys have that make these videos. Mainly shelters for your sawmill. So I'm going to show you a little bit of the reality of sawmilling. So in the last video, you see I was trying to cut a piece of walnut. Starts pouring down raining, which is still doing because I restarted this right after I decided to end it. But I just want to give you a recap because this is the reality of beginning sawmilling. If you don't have a shelter in place and you don't know everything about these mills already. So my blade is off of the wheel. It's stuck back behind it. The blade's destroyed, which is no biggie because I do have extras. So now I've got to get the cover put on and I guess call it a day. The walnut is not going to be finished for the 5th day in a row now. Maybe 4th, I don't know. But this is the reality of having a sawmill as a beginner. I'm going to set this right over here and throw the cover on, and hopefully the phone don't shut off or the mic short out or any of that stuff. Maybe it'll fall over, who knows. So you may ask what the purpose in doing this is since the machine's already soaked. I just don't want to get all this water into the machine and shorten the lifespan on anything. And to be quite honest, I'm already soaked because the blade's all messed up. The guide don't want to go in. And again, you know, it's part of being a newbie or beginner at this. As I said in the other videos, I have zero experience with this stuff. So, you know, I can't sit here and say anything is the fault of the machine because I would bet any issues I've had would come back to user error in some way or another. Just like that whole thing with the blade just now. You know, I don't know for sure, but it may have something to do with the fact that I just put tension on the blade while the machine was running and the blade was still moving. I will tell you, this has been a heck of a learning curve, and I'm going to continue to learn, both from my mistakes and from watching other videos. I don't sell anything on YouTube or push anything on YouTube, so everything I do is truth and what it's really like learning how to do this. I mean, you may naturally have more skill at running a manual sawmill. Well, I don't have that problem. I have no skills at running a sawmill. I'm just learning how to do it. And if you're watching my videos, maybe you're just learning how to do it too. But at the end of the day, I'm learning how to do that sawmill. I'm learning how to make those signs over there. I'm learning just about every piece of equipment in here other than the vinyl decal plotter, which is over there, the purple one. It's about the only thing in here that I have a lot of experience with. Everything else I'm going off the seat of my pants as I learn. Just like the skid steer, when I picked that up the other day, first time I've ever driven one, first time I've owned one. The dump truck, same thing, picked that up a couple months ago. You know, a lot of money going out, a lot of debt, but it's all a learning process, and sooner or later it will pay off. I have faith in that. But getting there is going to be a lot of trial and error, and tomorrow I'm going to take that machine apart and see if there's anything wrong with it, or if I screwed up by tightening that blade while the thing was still running, but the blade that's on there is destroyed. So I'll be back tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Got any pointers or anything like that, throw them in the comments below. I'll respond to everybody. And have a good one.